Hello, my name is Sergio Truque Pérez, and this is my video for the final exam of School Organization and Student Diversity. I hope you find it interesting. Our school, FAPE Trinidad Salvatore, is founded in a culturally diverse area of the city of Cartagena, in the region of Murcia. It possesses a mixed demographic of students, having children from various socioeconomic, ethnic, and cultural backgrounds, and a large number of students from immigrant families. The school has a moderate equipment in regards to technology and resources. Its staff is quite committed to the school, having around 30 teachers and staff members for 400 students. The aim of the school is to maintain our performance rate in receiving new students while catering to the different needs of the diverse groups. Let's start by taking a look at our interaction with artificial intelligence during the development of the task. Out of all of the prompts, we could choose to analyze the following: multicultural awareness program, implementing a structured curriculum that celebrates diversity and teaches students about different cultures, traditions, and languages. This can include multicultural events, guest speakers, and cultural exchange programs. Secondly, inclusive education practices. Develop and implement inclusive teaching practices that accommodate diverse learning styles, abilities, and backgrounds, providing training for teachers on inclusive education strategies. Thirdly, community engagement initiatives. Foster strong partnerships with local community organizations, businesses, and families to create a supportive network for students. This can involve organizing community events, volunteer opportunities, and outreach programs. Fourthly, parent education workshops. Organize workshops and seminars for parents to learn about topics such as child development, academic support strategies, and community resources, encouraging parental involvement in school activities and decision-making processes. Finally, marketing and branding campaigns. Launching a marketing and branding campaign to promote the school's inclusive environment, academic excellence, and unique programs, utilizing social media, community events, and promotional materials to attract prospective students and families. Does it seem appropriate for my center? Yes. Making use of these measures will significantly improve the school's environment through the promotion of diversity, inclusion, and community engagement. By using these measures together, we can achieve a supportive, inclusive, and engaging environment that allows for all students, parents, and staff involved to grow and learn, all while promoting the arrival of new students and getting others to know about our school's policies and openness. And what current legislation can support it? Firstly, the Organic Law 3/2020, LOMLOE. It aims to ensure educational quality and equality, emphasizing the importance of inclusive education. It also promotes measures to support students with diverse needs and backgrounds. Hence, this law aligns with the Multicultural Awareness Program and the inclusive education practices. On the other hand, the Decree 359/2009 of November 30 is part of the Regional Decree of Murcia, and it regulates educational support for students with special needs. It ensures that schools provide the necessary resources and accommodations for inclusive education. That's why it supports the inclusive education practices and positive behavior support measures. The Law 26/2015 of July 28. This law modifies the protection system for children and adolescents. It emphasizes the importance of parental participation and community engagement in the educational process. This law supports the measures of community engagement initiatives and parent education workshops. The Decree 198/2015 of September 25th. It establishes a framework for educational innovation and improvement programs. It also supports initiatives that enhance the educational environment and promote better practices in teaching and learning. This decree can take on all of the measures that we selected. And finally, the Decree 2020/2008 of October 25th. This decree focuses on an intercultural education and the integration of students from diverse backgrounds. It also encourages schools to implement programs that celebrate cultural diversity and promote inclusion. This reason is why it supports the Multicultural Awareness Program. Which actors are affected? These measures affect the students, their parents and families, the school staff and administration, and special education administrators. What relationships are affected by such measures? It affects several relationships: teacher-student, teacher-parent, and teacher-teacher, as well as school-parent, school community, and school-student relationships. Other relationships that will be affected are student-student and school education authorities, as well as school administration. Which part of educational diversity is not considered by the AI proposed solution? The AI did not take into account the following areas of educational diversity: linguistic diversity, socioeconomic diversity, gifted and talented education, neurodiversity, physical accessibility and disability support, and mental health and emotional support. Which relations are not addressed by the AI proposal? Some of the relationships that the AI does not take into account would be the teacher administration, student administration, parent administration, and government school relationships. Now, let's move on to Block 2. Let's take a look at the 5 main points of my program related to coexistence. Firstly, the school should aim to respect all opinions and perspective of its students. The curriculum in the school should recognize different cultural identities and perspective. This recognition can be obtained through the removal of stereotypical representations or inclusion of references to alternate identities. Secondly, the school should aim for anti-racist and critical multiculturalism approaches, allowing learning from other cultural practices and avoiding segregation, in turn creating an environment based on respect of human rights. Following the previous point, the school should include multicultural education guided towards the respect for cultural diversity and including the celebration of cultural differences. Culture is a part of who we are. We should all live as humans while celebrating and sharing with the world our customs and celebrations. Also, the school would operate within the same framework of rights. No student should be treated differently regardless of cultural, ethnic, or socioeconomic diversity. They should be equally treated without any discrimination. Finally, another program that should be included in the school would be a language program, possessing bilingual curriculums and formation for educators to aid both parents and students with difficulties in their communicative skills. These programs can be related to the following complexities: diversity and redundancy, context of a complex organization, and balancing randomness and deterministic order. I believe these programs clearly demonstrate my leadership style as a transformational leader, since through these changes in the school, I aim for the creation of positive change, the fostering of innovation, and aiding those involved in reaching their full potential. As a transformational leader, I want to be an agent of change, the challenge that status quo and embrace new ideas and approaches, while also serving as a role model for good ethical behavior, representing a strong sense of value and integrity. Let's continue on to Block 3. These would be the 5 main points of the diversity care plan that would be most critical in the case of a school with pupils who present special needs related to the intellectual disability. Let's take a look. First, the individualized education plan. We should collaborate with special education professionals to develop these strategies to ensure that we address each student's unique necessities. These strategies may include specific accommodations or alterations as well as goals geared towards the student's abilities and challenges. Secondly, inclusive teaching strategies. When developing a teaching strategy, we must ensure that it is accessible to all students, regardless of their abilities or disabilities. A great example of an inclusive teaching strategy would be the Universal Design for Learning or UDL. Thirdly, positive behavior support. When we establish a supportive and inclusive classroom environment, we promote positive behavior and social emotional development. We as teachers can promote these environments by using consistent routines and expectations, as well as providing praise and reinforcement for desired behaviors. Fourthly, learning through discovery. Emphasize learning through active engagement, exploration, and problem solving as the key methods to acquire knowledge and understanding. By using this method, learners take ownership of their learning and develop critical thinking skills. And finally, cooperative learning methods. This method involves students to work together to achieve a shared learning goal. Through this method, we can foster cooperation, communication, teamwork, and peer support in the process of developing the task, hence improving the learning process. An activity we can develop that takes intellectual diverse students into account could be the following: animal researchers, where we have one big map with different habitats and cards with different animals and foods. Students must use their knowledge and correctly place each animal in the correct habitat and give them their food. Students learn through trial and error. They can help one another during tasks and cooperate. When they accurately place the animal, we can praise and reward them. To make the task more accessible, we could perhaps use braille writing in the cards. Through all of these methods, we can be sure that our task is accessible to students with disabilities. These tasks would be evaluated through observation of students, use of their knowledge, and interaction with the peers. The objectives would be: introduce students to the animal habitats and their foods, encourage them to explore and investigate characteristics of these habitats, foster collaboration and communication since students work together to get the answer, and provide opportunities for students to share their knowledge with classmates, allowing them to learn from one another. And last but not least, we move on to the block 4, where we'll take a look at our reflective answers. The mark that I believe I have earned is a 9. I have worked very hard to complete all of my tasks and help my partners when they needed it, always checking how to improve our task and checking different ways to carry it out. I believe I have shown my commitment to the school organization and diversity course and taking the educational opportunities that were given. The most crucial idea about school organization. In my opinion, the most crucial aspect of the organization part of the course was the different complexities. This is due to the fact that all teachers should be aware of them, since it is a crucial part in carrying out an effective teaching practice for the students' development. Any idea about school organization that I didn't imagine before? Well, I did know of different leadership styles before the course. However, I never knew how deep and crucial they were for the educator's role. The way we lead influences greatly those around us, and using the correct leadership style will greatly enhance the educator's effectiveness. The most crucial idea I learned about attention to diversity. I think the most important thing I learned was how to find ways to show diversity itself. During one of our tasks, we discussed the film The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and how the attention to diversity is discussed in the film and in education, comparing that age to the current. I learned how to approach diversity in a meaningful and interesting way. If I'm more aware of attention to diversity? Well, definitely. Attention to diversity is a very important part of the teaching practice, and teachers must be responsible for carrying it out. And finally, what This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed getting to see my avatar explain school organization and student diversity. Thank you for your attention.